Well, our Northern Service News team is in Abaco this week, hearing and sharing the stories of survivors on that island. Our Azure Grant tells us more.
Makushla, as you know, 3 years ago, Hurricane Dorian made its landfall here in Abaco, forcing many to evacuate their homes. This including Brent Lowe, a blind man who also had to save his disabled son by placing him on his shoulders while trenching through high waters to seek shelter.
That was scary. I wish I'd never ever have to go through something like that again in my life.
That was the exact sentiments of Brent Lowe, a blind father, as Hurricane Dorian ravished through the island of Abaco. Lowe says the Category 5 storm seemed as though it would never end. Just hours before making landfall, Lowe says himself, his 27-year-old son, who was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and their caretaker were all at home. They thought everything was normal until the storm actually began.
When it started, you just could tell by the intensity it wasn't a regular storm. It was, the whole house just was vibrating. And I was in a stone building, but the floor was shuddering, the walls was just shuddering, and I could keep hearing the roof lift and drop back down.
Lowe says he realized how bad it was when the first half left and the eye came in.
It seemed like it came back with even more force than it was before. That's when I realized we should have done something when the eye passed, like leaving or. But the thing about it, they tried to leave, but the roads and everything was so flooded you couldn't get past.
As the storm continued getting worse, the blind man expresses they left in search for shelter. Fearful for his son, Lowe says he carried him on his shoulders and made his way to the neighbor's home.
When I got home, I was surprised to know how many new businesses and how many people were here. You know, I wasn't expecting it to be as built up as it was. And I mean, as of now, we're pretty much almost back to normal.
Once the storm passed and they were rescued, Lowe had to immediately leave Abaco due to him having to undergo dialysis. And 1 year later, he returned in shock of how quickly the island had developed.
I feel happy for people getting back into their homes, getting back into their normal lives. The businesses open up, new business. You know, it's just good. Makes me happy.
And for Brent Lowe, he has since moved into a new efficiency nearby family with hopes of obtaining a disability home for him and his son. However, he adds that he is just happy to be back home.
You know, I'm home. No place like home.
Now, the good news in all of this is that Brent Lowe has since returned home and is now living nearby family. However, he has one request, and that is a disabled home so that he and his son can live together again. Reporting live here at Abaco Beach Resort in Marsh Harbor for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant. Back to the nation's capital.